Welcome to Collectanea today. This is Cindy and I'm glad you're here. I wanted to show you my version of a little pocket album that Mary at Cardztv had put up. And I like this idea so much, and this is one of the first ones I have made from that idea. And I wanted to give this to a friend, but I changed Mary's idea just a bit, but I'll show you what I have done. I used today papers from two different paper packs, both by K & Company. I really like their papers. And this one is one that has blues and greens with a little bit of purple, some dark blue, some light blue. And I've used a number of these papers, and I'm running out of them, I'm afraid. I'll have to get another pack maybe. And so I used that pack for the papers, and then I had bought another set of K & Company papers. They were more greens and oranges, and this is just one of them. I don't have the original packaging. But that one came not only with papers, but with a whole bunch of little tags and sayings and letters and all kinds of things. And they had everything from big pieces like this, and all sorts of words and all kinds of tags. And so I just had a bunch of them left over from what I had done. And the colors, because they were both green, they both had greens in them, and browns. The browns I thought would go well enough with this pack, that I've used some of those together. So here's what I did. I took Mary's idea and cut pieces of paper that were 4 by 7, a rectangle 4 by 7. And once you have your rectangle cut, you score it, put it horizontally on your scoreboard or whatever you're going to score with, and score it at 1.5 and 4.5 inches, so that when you fold it together and make your tube, you've got a 3-inch by 4-inch tube. And that's what I did. And I cut all of my tubes out of a brown craft paper. You can see the inside here. But what I wanted to do was cover each side of each page. So I did that by cutting pieces of paper from that first K & Company pack. And I cut it about 1/8 of an inch smaller than the pocket itself. And I wanted it to cover most of the page, but I didn't want any edges to stick out and get caught. So before I put this down, I inked the edge of the craft paper so that I didn't see brown behind it. I inked these in green, because many of the papers have a green color to them. And I made them so that the facing pages are from the same paper. And I used different ones for each set of pages. Now this happiness label here is from the other pack that I showed you, and this one I just took a stripe from another paper and cut it out and inked the edge and added a couple of gemstones. This one has a little butterfly that's cut from one of the other pages, and this design was a border print across one page, and so I cut it out so that you could see flowers and leaves on them. And then this page was just an all-over green and turquoise page with some white, off-white flowers on it. So I took a circle and cut part of it off, and left the flower here. This is a tag that I'd added for this particular page. This one was a longer banner, and I cut it and put the banner piece on each edge. And this paper is a butterfly, a really pretty, I think it's a butterfly, it might be a dragonfly, I'm not sure, but it's a lovely print. And then this was another stripe piece, and this is a green and turquoise leaf print, and I added this sort of stripe design from the other page. And then on this last section I added a corner from one of the other pages, and then just the word dream at the bottom here. You can see that. My friend's daughter-in-law is going to have a baby here soon, so I knew that she would want to take pictures and put some things in here. So when I got ready to finish it, I had made one other just like what Mary had done, and I wanted to just change up the covers a bit. So what I did was I went to my Elegant Edges cartridge, which if you've seen many of my videos, you know that I love that cartridge. And they do have a book feature on it, but I didn't want to use that because these pages are rectangular and all the book features are based on squares or maybe ovals, but nothing rectangular. So I just used a rectangular frame, and what I had to do was make it enough bigger so that I could just get this rectangle part to fit over the 3 by 4 inch tubes that I had cut. So I used my design studio again and made it fiddled with it until I got the edges just to cover these pages. And then from one of those sayings, which it said originally "too wonderful for words" and was all in one line, I cut that apart and used the word amazing instead of wonderful. And so this says "too amazing for words." And then this particular dragonfly was one of the prints in one of those papers. It was a background with this dragonfly in it. So I cut around it and inked the edges and then just put it on some foam tape, the wings, so that it stands off the page. And so this Elegant Edges frame became the base for the cover. I cut a piece out of cardboard, and then I cut another design or another pattern from another paper for the inside cover as well, of the front cover. And then I went to the back and did the same thing with this one. And again, here's the back print, that stripe that is on the front is also on the back. Now I will add something here on the spirals, but it's nearly finished. And then I also wanted to show you the tags that I designed for this one. This is again something that Mary had done. I used my design studio and made sure that these tags were wider, because the basic tag was, when I got one long enough, it was narrow. So I wanted to make it wider to use the available space that there was. So I cut the tag out of a cream cardstock, and on all the tags on all the front sides I've put this blue with turquoise polka dot. And then on the back I put it's a dark blue with an off-white leaf design. And then I put a little matting piece in which to write a journal, to record something. And I cut all of these a little bit different shape, or I rounded the corners, or maybe I didn't, left some square, left some round, and so that they're not all the same. They're a little different on each one. Basic idea, but a little bit changed up. And then I added a piece of blue ribbon. It's a clear ribbon, or you can see through it, and it has a gold trim on the edge of it. So I added those, and this tag I found on the Preserves cartridge, but it had a circle for the center. So again, on my design studio, I just hid that contour and added a small rectangle, because I like putting the ribbon through a rectangle rather than a circle. So when I'm all finished, I will just slide these tags into the tube. They fit in there nicely, and then each of the tags will have its own ribbon. So I'm really grateful for Mary for giving us this great idea. And don't be afraid to work with your Cricut and take advantage of the things that it will do for you and make your life easier. And I will give this to my friend, and I'm sure she will appreciate it. So have a great day, and thanks for visiting. Appreciate your coming by. Bye-bye.